Welcome. Hey, friends. Hey. I hope I look better than I feel. I'm exhausted. My staycation is over and I am sick about it. I do not want to go to work tomorrow and I have a bunch of things left to do. But, child, we're going to see what we can get done when I get off of here. Dinner is done. I really need to do laundry, but I digress. Y'all just give me 1 second. Hey, JB. Hey. Can you hear me and see me all right? Let's see. This look a little, that's better. That's better. I got my coffee. And let me tell you, my mood plus this show, maybe it ain't it, okay? These folks is tap dancing on my nerves already. Just probably not going to be no long video like the last one, because the last one I broke down the couples and the descriptions and all of that. And I still have that handy in my notes because I'm going to forget. And I still have some questions from the last episode. But this is the Never Ever Met. That's what they called it, okay? Season 1, episode 2 is Complicated IRL. Is it though? So essentially we are picking up where we left off with, I got a couple pictures, but not too many. These two. Said this show is a joke, so they not bothering me. It's aggravating my nerves, JB. This bullshit. Look, I done already started and ain't been 3 minutes in. So we pick up with these two, Dominique and Alexis. And she is again explaining that the day went well. She was excited. And then fast forward to tonight. And he's yelling at me like I'm his child. I'm embarrassed. I'm scared. We're going to go through this all over again. Trigger warning, please. He got her hemmed up and asked her, but it was like hemmed up like you hem up your little brother or your little sister. Like you didn't really want to hurt him, but nonetheless, hella inappropriate. Y'all are a man and a woman. So I don't want y'all to think, girl, what are you saying? No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying when he first did it, she was kind of laughing like she was okay with it. That's why I'm saying it. That's why I said we all got a little confused because it was like first we was hemming and hugging and shoving. And then the next thing you know, y'all was in full on fisticuffs. Hey, Monique, 69 ways. So that's why I say that. So he's got her hemmed up a little bit. He asked if he ever disrespected her. And she says yes. Then he, like I said, he shoves her. She calls him out. She's like, you shoved me. That's what I mean. He's shouting and down in her face. She's shoving him. And again, like I said, it totally goes left. I don't want to make it seem like I'm defending it at all. It was like you had to turn your head. Like, what just happened? Y'all was just playing. And granted, I didn't like the way y'all were playing, but this is where we end up. You still ain't watched the episode, Shayna. I watched it. Thank you for coming by. I watched it. My nerves was not good. And this show just aggravated me even more because they play all day. JB says the show is a joke, so it ain't bothering him. But Lord, help me. So Josh kind of did try to attempt to slightly break it up. Alexis then grabs a pot. That's what she got her hand right there. And then Josh finally kind of gets him to walk away. But what had me aggravated, above all things, was the cameraman that was sitting there just recording, letting it happen. Y'all didn't try to break it up in the least. I didn't see no security. Y'all had little old Josh had to try to separate these two. Then Dominique's inside explaining his half to Josh. Alexis outside explaining her side to Shay. We don't really care. It was all out of pocket. Now, I'm sure Shay and Josh was trying to get into something else. Y'all was interrupting, but I digress. And now Alexis is crying. And then somehow the two of them are back in the house and everybody's in the kitchen and they still like going back and forth with the situation and the foolishness. And I'm like, why are y'all now back in the kitchen together? You just separated these months. What are we doing? So then she kind of goes off to the side, and the producers tell Alexis he's not coming back tonight. He's going to the hotel, and he'll be back tomorrow, maybe. Thank you, Shayna. Yes, please like the video. I got my little thing scrolling in the bottom. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. And this is alleged, whatever, how you want to say it. It just, ooh, because I'm bad at saying at the beginning of the video. That's why I got the little scrolly thing down there for me. A whole ass joke. And then these two, we're going to talk about that a little bit, because I think that's, again, what made me so upset. And then, like you said, not care at the same time. I don't blame the cameraman. I blame the producers who were there. Okay, fine. Yeah, okay, fine. I give you that. But if I was a cameraman, I'd be like, I'm not taping this shit. I understand not getting in the middle of it. I give you that. But you're correct. No producers, no security, no nothing. Nothing. All we saw was them. Just still like, so where were the producers? Where was the security? Y'all just left them to hash it out. This is not supposed to be that type of show. And then clearly, as we go on in the episode, we find out you guys have rules about this type of thing. So why are we not implementing the rules? Why are we just letting this go on and then putting him in a hotel for the evening? For why? For why? They could have both packed right then and there. Or you could have had him pack and go to the hotel. I don't know what time of night it was. Maybe you couldn't get a flight. And then her stay. I don't know. This wasn't it. The solution that they had was not it. So the next day, yeah, absolutely. 210%. It got my blood all boiling like a just going. Yeah. Yeah, they probably did think it was what happened the first day. That's fair. Yep. And it was like 2:40 a.m. So he might not have been, could have catch a red eye like 5 o'clock. You got to be at the airport 3 hours early. You got to be at the airport 3 hours early anyway. Child, I digress. I mean, I guess maybe that was the best thing to do. Have him in the hotel, get him out of there the next day, have her in there, and then pack the next day. Fine. I'll give them that. But so the next day, Josh is saying that there's definitely chemistry between him and Shay, attraction on the mental, emotional, physical, and sexual level. It's so weird because these two been together 12 years. And as somebody pointed out, how old is Shay saying she is? This is why I left the ages up here. She's 30. So 12 years, that would make her be like 18. So maybe you can be an 18-year-old dummy in a relationship. In a relationship with somebody you never met for 12 years, and other people throughout, well, has somebody been to jail? Child, we don't know. Or we know that there was a baby in the midst of all of it. And it was because we, like I said, we separated only to come back to it. So Shay is saying the chemistry in person is stronger than it was over the phone. Then the men are convening outside over a game of chess. Again, they're discussing what happened the night before. They're kind of brushing it off as not that big of a deal while the women are inside also discussing it, saying it is insecurity and it's a huge red flag. Where's my red flag? It's a huge red flag. And Diamond's like, you should have came and got me. I said, Diamond, not you going up for your sis when you act like you're not a girl's girl. I kind of appreciated that. Sienna's like, and if he'll do that with the cameras rolling. Now, this was at the point where I still had like Sienna, but she had a valid point there. If you're going to do this with the cameras rolling, where are we going to go? I mean, at 18, you'd be willing to do some stuff you wouldn't do in your 20s and your 30s and your 40s. And then Greg is pointing out, listen, all of this happened in one night. I said, exactly. He's like, so I guess, they have their answer. They fully should. So the group finally gathers inside. And Alexis is like, now you could get to see your partner for who they are. Someone asked if she was going to speak to him again. And I think it was Diamond was like, no, I'm speaking for her. Well, fast forward to present tense. She did speak to him or in his presence, which child, now what stood out was Aaron H back here, and he said, "You can't bring something out of someone that wasn't already in them." You go ahead and say that, sir, okay? He said he was in an abusive relationship, and the shoe was on the other foot. As a father with a daughter her age, is he's like, it's a no for him. No matter what, whether they were drinking or not, you have to remember this moment right here. Because a lot of times people get back together with other people because they forget what they did until they do it again. Remember that moment you had last night when you had to get a frying pan to defend yourself. Child, I got chills all through my body because even though Aaron H might be full of reindeer games himself and what he got going on in his relationship, he spoke a whole ass word right there. He ain't never told no lies. And I'm glad somebody told her, and I wish she would have listened. I don't know where your daddy is, your older brother, your uncle, but baby, please. So Alexis is like, she never been through anything like this before. And Diamond is kind of saying, she just got to make up her mind and stick to it. This is a 40-something-year-old woman. The 40-something-year-old brain and what she got going on up there. Let me look. Let me go up here. Alexa's supposed to be how old? She's supposed to be 30. Ooh, child. I digress. I don't know if I was kind of at 30. Not for somebody I didn't know. Yeah. Yeah. Them teenage years be real volatile. So Taronda comes in. She asks to speak to Alexis alone. She says she heard some things transpired last night and she just wanted to make sure she was okay. So Alexis is like, she's emotional. She explains, she goes over what happened. And then she's like, the date was good, but then we got to the house and he started drinking, ... So Taronda's like, drinking does not excuse what he did. But then she also plays him a recorded message from Dominique, which I didn't like that. And by the time we got to the end of the scene, I said, I guess, but I was like real conflicted. Like, why would y'all even show her that? So, of course, it's an apology. And then he gets into saying something like, oh, let's sweep it under the rug. And, sir, what? Okay. He wants to move past it and to continue to get to know each other. He doesn't think it's that deep. So now Taronda asks her how she feels, and Alexis says she doesn't like how he said that it wasn't that deep. Who would? Excuse me, it's coffee. Got me coffee in. And Taronda asks, she says you don't really know somebody until you meet them. And Taronda reminds her, when somebody shows you who they are, okay, all it takes is one time and it's unacceptable. She tells her that she is enough. Alexis kind of tears up. She's like, and also we have a no touching policy at the house. Also, we have a no touching policy at the house. So not only does he have to leave, but you have to leave as well. And I said, hallelujah. JB says, now how was that date good? The never recorded message, girl. Listen, that's how high her standards are. Not very high, because that wasn't even like an official yoga date. This wasn't a yoga class. If it was a yoga class or something like that, there was an instructor, but just you get me to arch my back doing positions that don't exist. Baby, yes. But she enjoyed herself and she kissed on that man. So now I have in my notes about the whole social media thing. So I will say personally, since these two got on social media, I don't really give a F about these two. I'm glad that they're gone. They wanted to make it seem in the first episode like they was the only, well, in the social media post that they did or wherever they were. I didn't get to watch everything in its entirety. I just watched little bits and pieces of things. But y'all gonna make it seem like y'all the first people to ever be on reality TV and talk about being fake. We're not stupid. We get it. And you're stupid for getting on here saying stuff like that. And also, it disgusted me. Who child? See, look, it got my nose to going. Ah! I need a nose break, y'all. Bear with me. Bear with me. Like the video. Un momento, por favor. So. Okay. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Sorry, y'all. And I'm getting hot in this sweatshirt too. And I don't want to pull it off because then off goes this head wrap over my head. I don't know. I was just disgusted by the whole situation because DV is no joke. It's not a game. It's not. Y'all try to act like the whole thing is like, I guess they already knew each other, is what they were saying. But I could have lived with that part of it. Because it rubbed me the wrong way. I could have dealt with that part of it had they said it after the show wrapped for the season, or even after we got past episode 2, once they were gone, then maybe I would have digested it better. But only the portion of you guys having known each other and wanted to get on the TV show. What I'm not ever going to be able to move past is that pushing and that shoving. Y'all can feel how y'all want to feel about it, but I didn't like it. Not the viewers, but these two. So, baby, we are moving on. One of Brandon and Sienna's biggest struggles is the distance because she's in New York and he's in Florida. He has a 4-year-old daughter and a 13-year-old son. Scoot. Let's see how long they were together because, I got to make sure to do this math. Okay, they only been together for 10 months, 4 years old. Okay, that's cutting it close, but we still in the clear. So she said she's going to make it happen, but it was kind of like she said she would just come down to visit. Now, y'all been seeing each other for 10 months. You had to get on this show. This is how people feel like this show is full of caca. You had to get on this show to get down to Florida in 10 months. Baby, that's probably you can get you a little cheap flight. Okay. So now it's like Mad TV. Oh, SNL and Mad TV for sketch comedy. It should be. And maybe if I look at it that way, I won't be so irritated and burnt up by the stupid stuff that they do. Honestly, I think the only thing that really angered me was the physical thing. All the rest of this talking and flirting and macking and y'all treat each other like garbage is just par for the course. But that pushing and shoving is a no-go for me. So now that Dominique and Alexis are gone, Chris says he has to sit down and talk to Sandia about what happened with them last night. Sir, shut your freaking mouth, okay? Trying to be a Mac, trying to be for the men, and yeah, okay. So he says that I didn't say anything about flirting with someone else's girl, sir. No, you not say their girls, but we get the gist of it. You was trying to be a ladies' man, but now Sandia in her confessional says that she and Chris are not exclusive not in an exclusive relationship right now, and they're on the same page about that. I said, really, girl? Why are y'all on the show? Y'all all playing with us. You all are playing with us. So Alexis and Dominique is gone. Y'all are absolute no. Aaron and Jody are an absolute no. We got 3. And by the time we get to the episode, Sienna and Brandon are a no. So who do we got? Aaron H and Diamond with a Y. Millie and her dude, which is Greg, which is like, yes, no, maybe so. And Shay and Josh. 3 out of 7, child, I guess. Like I said, let me stop taking the show so seriously. So she's saying it's his delivery that she doesn't like and it makes her feel uncomfortable and disrespected. So these two get to talking and it boils down to he just don't trust women. And I said, okay, Safari's cousin, please go somewhere and get some therapy. She's asking him, why are you here? And he says that he is there to build trust. Again, therapy, and therapy. He says that he's not going to change who he is just because she does not want him to say certain things. At this point, the couples, like I said, are getting me exhausted, and almost all of them are a no for me. Had that in my notes, even though I just broke it down. I told you we have 3 possible out of 7. I don't even say strong, possible. And she says she doesn't want to look bad. Ma'am, again, not coming on the show was an option. Y'all don't want to look crazy, but then y'all came on the show and you're mad how you look. Clearly, y'all don't really know how reality works. While Alexis and Dominique are trying to tell us they do, clearly not everybody does. Hey, hey, hey there, Harold. Oh boy, would you say JB? After the show's over, they will never see it. Probably not. And I'm glad it's only 6 episodes. Like I said, maybe my nerves will be better next week. Because then I won't have to go to work on a Monday. So maybe I'll be a little more relaxed and will not be ready to let these folks have it. Also, now that Alexis and Dominique are gone, I should be able to let go of some of the anxiety that I was holding in. Because, baby, listen, everybody's a chop except for Shay and Josh, Diamond, Aaron. Yep, that's what I had said. The rest ain't going to make it. Is my yep. Those are my 3 possible out of 7. So Aaron is in a hot tub by himself, Aaron J, because Jody says she's inside. It's cold out there. And I'm like, aren't you in California? I digress. She said it's cold and, she's talking about her hair. Well, I think he was more so talking about her hair. So Millie and Greg, get in there. He's like, oh, she don't want to mess up her hair, sisters and da-da-da-da. And he likes that she's not clingy and being all up in his face. She's the first woman that he's dated that's not clingy. Here go my son calling. I'm gonna have to call him back. Hold on, y'all. I had to call you back. I'm on a live. Sorry, y'all. It's his birthday, and I was up at midnight, so I did wish him happy birthday. But I digress. He says this is the first woman that he has dated that's not clingy. Like I said, the people have questions, and also, Aaron, that's because she don't like you. So Greg and Millie say that they're vibing when Josh and Shay, they come outside. Sandia and Chris are in the kitchen and cooking. And the couples are kind of just outside talking about what happened last night with Sandia and Chris. Because, like I said, we can kind of see who's here for it and who's not. So it looks like I think it's the next day. Taronda comes. She greets the couple. She says, she knows it's hard on them that I left the picture out. She says she knows that it's hard on them, that Dominique and Alexis had to leave, but she plans to change the atmosphere and shift the energy. I was like, okay, girl. So she tells them that they're going to do a series of, this is going to mean I'm going to have to take this back down too. I'm sorry. I'm going to do this while I'm talking to y'all. So if I look a little distracted, I missed one image. I thought I did everything. I said I wasn't going to be super thorough, and then I did a couple of scenes by scenes. So here we are. Like I said, Alexis and Dominique are gone, so she wants to shift the mood, and she tells them that they are going to shift the energy. She tells them that they will do a series of individual and group activities. We kind of heard this at the beginning of episode 1, and date, and then they will decide at the end if they want to pursue it or let it go. Like I said, we got this in episode 1. I think I told you guys that already. So, and she tells them they do have an intimacy suite, aka the boom boom room. They show us a little flash up to that if they want to take their connection to the next level. Not we just got here and now we just seeing each other and now we want to go from here to there already. I think not. And she asked if anybody's ever heard of Kama Sutra, and Jody's like, yes, she's a sex coach. Now pause for the cause, because also I want to take this down. This is what I'm talking about. They were only there for one day. Not only that, like I said, in my recap for episode 1, sorry, that was probably blurry. When I start to move in these hands, StreamYard goes crazy. I think I saw Dr. Ramani in episode 1 as we got glimpses of this season, and they're supposed to have relationship people there. So it's not so much that I mind them doing the Kama Sutra as I feel like they should have perhaps done the Kama Sutra later on. Like this is day 2 or day 3. We could leave this for later on. I think they're there for 3 weeks. We could leave this for later on. We need to do more relationship stuff, therapy, healing. We just going jump right into the physical connection, because whatever physical connection they had, it was either there or it was not there. Yeah. You could have fooled me about Jody being the funny thing about that is I did not realize that until I was doing a recap for episode 1 and I was reading the little bios that they had on OWN. And that's when I was like, they didn't mention that she was a sex coach. And then we talked about it in this episode, which, like you said, we couldn't tell. She don't give off that vibe. What vibe is that? I don't know, but whatever it is. I don't know, but whatever it is, she ain't got it. All right, we'll add that one to the stage. Yeah. Like we're adults here, so I'm not saying, I know I could be a little on the prude side. I'm not saying intimacy and being sexual and all those things is not part of whatever. This was not the first thing we should have led with. So she says she's going to call the couples up. She has 2 cards, and then the couple can choose which of the positions they want to try. And she says it's supposed to help with the communication. Who's up first? So Chris and Sandy. Do I have a picture of them? No, because I didn't get a picture of everybody. Just to look, the 2 funny ones I have up there. So Chris and Sandy go first. They do like something that's called a lotus blot. I said, yeah. And then it was funny because some of the parts of the image, like the intimate areas of the images were blurred out. So you couldn't even really see good. I'm like, the leg go where? And then the hand go, okay, because, I could be proved, but you could keep this in your personal repertoire for, later on. So she tells them, I think this one, they were kind of like sitting. And so they're like crisscross applesauce kind of over each other. So they're like up close. And she's like, look into each other's eyes and tell me what you feel. So he's like, she's kind. You're beautiful, of course. And he would like for it to go further than this. Now, Sandia says she feels the same way, but he kind of already told us in episode 1 that there was sexual tension between the 2 of them. So now is whether we get beyond this point is yet to be seen. Jody? Yeah, Jody don't give no friendly vibes at all. So Josh and Shay are up next. They pull up the first position, second position. She was like, we did both of these already yesterday. I said, y'all did it yesterday? I said, okay, maybe they were just, because the one that they chose was the second one, which was more like of a cuddle, like, from behind holding her. So I was like, okay, so maybe they just held each other in this way. Because I'm like, what you mean y'all did these yesterday? Y'all had sex that quick? No, that's not what they were saying, Kira, you're speeding. But Taronda's kind of saying in 12 years, like, you guys have learned intimacy. You think? Child, I guess. So Joanna and Aaron J are up. I'm giving y'all a sneak peek. I'm just going to leave this right here. So in a confessional, Diamond says she does not see the connection between these 2. She says they look like more than friends. And Taronda says that intimacy is more than a physical connection. But when they can't see each other, how do they connect? And then, Jody, she's like, because it's an energy thing. It's an energy thing. And Aaron H was me. Aaron H was like, BS. These 2 have the least chemistry here. And his confessional, he's like, she has to philosophize the whole thing, and she never concentrated on Aaron. Aaron's sitting there looking all awkward, looking like he don't know what to do with that thing. So there's that. So Taronda asks, how does she feel about Aaron? And he's just sitting there on top of her. It's cricket. So then she asks Aaron, how does he feel as far as a connection? He's like, it's poking in my joggers, in my jogging pants. So it's a good job. I said, yikes. Ooh, okay. Feeling a little poke coming through on you. So Greg and Millie, they do the eagle. Sir had to stop and ask for consent because he was going in there. He was getting a little too like, yikes. Hold on, wait a minute. Is it okay if I proceed? He was like, spread them. Greg, slow down. Slow down. Yikes. Okay. You think they had sex too? I thought it was just me. I said, maybe I'm speeding. Maybe they just meant that they were intimate, because you could be intimate and hold each other with. Okay. It's not just me jumping ahead. I was like, what y'all mean y'all did this? What y'all mean y'all did this yesterday? We did that. Yeah, we did that yesterday too. I was saying y'all was in the boom boom room, smacking up, flipping and rubbing it down, hitting all the positions. Y'all had the Kama Sutra book in there. Child, so so hold on. I'm just gonna go off camera. I'm not gonna give y'all a full-on nose break. So Millie says that she feels relaxed and that this will happen when they are ready for it. I think that's a good position to be in. And he says he feels like they're connecting and he's ready for the next step. I mean, duh. So Diamond and Aaron H do a splitting bamboo and baby. I don't know why I could not wait for these two for some strange reason to get their old behinds on the ground. I'm calling them old, but I'm right there to say me and Diamond is like right there. Actually, she a little bit younger than me. I don't know when this was filmed. We might be the same age. But yeah, it was just a whole hoot. Ooh, I jumped too fast. Yeah. A whole hoot and a half, child. A whole hoot and a half. So he says that he has no problems with being watched. I said, "Ooh, okay." He says it feels good. And it feels like he's in control, but she's also in control. I said, okay. Go off, sir. Let's see what Harold said. Folks cannot be compatible, or folks can be not compatible all day long, but when they get that feeling and that healing is sure to yes, Lord. That's sexual healing. Yeah, because you do not need to be compatible to get it on. Remember when in the bathrooms? Yeah, I thought that. That's what it looked like. That's what I said in my first recap. I said, "Oh, look, they look like they're about to go do it in the bathroom," and they probably was trying to do it when freaking Alexis and Dominique started with their shit because they was up at 2:40 in the morning. Probably like, "Why the fuck is y'all down here? We trying to smash on the couch with y'all. Go ahead with y'all bullshit, child." Okay. I thought that, but then they didn't show us that. And then I was like, and then when we got to that scene, I was like, we did that. We did that. Wait a minute. So last is Sienna and Brandon. Taronda calls out Sienna for calling the shots because she's like, we're going to do so-and-so. And she was like, Taronda's like, you seem agitated. And Sienna's like, no. Taronda's like, well, what do you feel like? Are you feeling like a tingling somewhat? And you're going to have to wait. Whatever it is. Text it to me. Sorry. Everything got to happen when mama's on alive. So he says, he's kind of like, oh, somewhat. He said he feels like he's ready to turn on the TV. I have AKA he is not into it, in my opinion. So Taronda says, the task is supposed to be The task is supposed to force them to work together and to communicate. And a confessional, she said her mood was thrown off when he said he was bored. I mean, ma'am, you were giving him bored. And then Taronda's also asking her, like, why did you choose a position where you're not facing him? Because, like, he was kind of like his body was this way. And then she just kind of sat on her stomach like this way. Like, she could have just like kicked her feet like a little kid, like on the swing. And she was saying, she chose the position because it seemed the easiest to get into, and the other position looked like work. And Taronda's like, well, intimacy requires work, and you chose not to work. So she tells the couples that in the experience, you will put what you put into it, you will get a withdrawal back. Be intentional. I'll just leave this for a minute because I think that's everybody's intentions. And I didn't get this. I definitely got the vibe from Jody, but I did not get this vibe from Sienna until this episode. I'm like, how did we get here? So afterwards, like later on, Millie and Greg are, sitting on the couch discussing activity. They feel comfortable with each other. And they said that they're just going to go with their own pace because she feels like he's a gentleman. So she probably want to give him that action, but they going to take it at the speed they need to take it for a look. Let's go up. And how many months have they been together? No, they've been years, right? Are these the two, Greg and Millie? Oh, 3 years in California. Never mind. Child, I'll be trying to take some of y'all seriously till I go back and read y'all stats. Oh, Lord. Okay. Child, wait a minute. her baby. So now we're gonna get into it if we don't get into it. This we wasn't at this scene yet, but we with these two, so we just gonna leave it here. So Brandon and Sienna, they are talking over a game of pool, and she tells him that he should move to New York. And he's like, you seem more open earlier. And she's like, I would not live with you before I got married because what would be the incentive be? I get that part of it, but to me, it's like a 50-50 thing. I will want to live with you for a little while just to see your habits and everything. But also, yeah, there is that fear that you may not get married, but y'all are so far. Like, I don't know. Child, we gonna proceed. So, and also she says she is not a fan of Florida. So now it's on him whether to make the move or not. I'm letting her cook. So now they show a previous conversation where she said that, she's a New Yorker, she loves New York, but she'll be open to moving. She's flexible about where she lives and works. Like when she falls in love, it is what it is. So Brandon kind of clocks how she can flip flop. Hold on, let me see what Harold got to say about Miss Sienna and herself. Sienna was shown exactly why she's been single for so long. And I was so disappointed. Brandon isn't perfect, but neither she. Yeah. Yeah, that's a three long years. That's why I'm going to keep the things up. When I do my notes, I'm going to keep them descriptions up at the title with the everything. I guess I can get rid of Alexis and Dominique. So he clocks how she can flip flop. And she asks if he thinks that they're compatible. He's like, there's no doubt that there's chemistry, but he thinks like some of the dynamics are turning. And he tells her that she flip flops. And she's like, oh, you're the third person to call me inconsistent. And that hurts my feelings. I was like, ooh, girl, yikes. I hate that for you. But I mean, the truth is the truth. So he asked her who called her inconsistent. She said some of the other guys that she dated. He said that's scary for him and that she overtalks him instead of listening. Then left field, out of left field, over there somewhere. That's my left. She calls him a bitch. I said, huh? How did we get here? She was like, you're a bitch. Wait, what? Huh? And she's like, and you're talking about irrelevant ish. So she's like, I am listening. She's like, I am listening to what you say, and I called you a bitch. Ma'am, you doubling down in this moment. Kudos to him. Trust me, I'm not asking for violence because that's the problem I had earlier. But if I had been him as a man, the first time you call me a bitch, I just left you. I would have just left you standing there. It don't have to get physical. It don't have to get crazy. But also, I don't have to take that, man or woman. If I was him, I would have walked out the room because if the shoe was on the other foot, she would have got activated. Ma'am, the audacity. It's the audacity. So, child. In her confessional, she says he has a habit of saying the first thing that comes to his mind without thinking about it and how it will make her feel. It triggered her a little bit. Yeah, I don't know how I got her at the beginning, but she lost me fast. I agree, JB. I don't know. I don't know this person, but I don't know these people. Like I said, I would have her behavior, I would have called from Jody. Because Jody seemed like she's a Chi-Town girl. She don't take the foolishness. I don't know how she been with Aaron J this long, even over the phone. But she says she likes his artistic, but it's clear she don't like that man. But I would confusion wouldn't have pegged this from Miss Sienna. Totally uncalled for. Totally. If the shoe was another fit. That's why I'm saying. And then she doubled down in it. Sir, man would not have got a second chance to call me that. I would have walked out after the first time. I told him to text me. He probably did text me. Sorry. I really could have answered that while he was standing here, but I didn't want to have to mute it or whatever. Anyhow. So that was all she wrote. She says, you call me inconsistent and you have kids for multiple women. I said, oh, it left to the left, to the left. Having a broken marriage shows that you can't keep a promise. That's not at all true. I was like, girl, I guess. He says that he got married because he had a kid at 20. Not only Then she's like, not only do you have a broken marriage, but then you went and had a kid by somebody else. He was like, yes, that was 10 years later. And she's like, what makes me any different than a parade of women? And she just starts laughing in this man's face. And I was like, girl, what? Yikes. So in his confessional, he says he feels like she is doing a lot of projecting based on her past. I agree. Like, this man don't look 35, but that's besides the point. Mm-mm. You're not fixing to talk to me like this. And later on that evening, this is the scene why we have here, she wants to finish the conversation. And I'm like, man, what is there left to say? You didn't call him out his name. You done told him he made bad choices in a relationship. You know, he's calling you inconsistent, but you can't stay in a relationship. What is there left to say? Now, I think what she thought when she sat down with this group is that they were going to side with her, and she got her feelings hurt, and she was sadly mistaken. And I don't know, like, I don't know why you thought, even if the people agree with you, like, no, I don't know. So then she tells everybody in the kitchen that he has a history of failed relationships. Ma'am, and what do you have? So Chris is like, well, how do you know it's his fault? And Brandon's like, I'm not going to stay in a marriage that's toxic. She says, if you took marriage seriously, do we even want to finish that sentence? We'll finish the sentence. You would still be in that first marriage. And it makes her think that when things get tough and the tough gets going, that he's going to drop out and say F it. Yes, but no. Sounds like therapy to me. I said, it sounds to me like Sienna has some abandonment issues. Therapy. That's why I said, damn, a Kama Sutra. Y'all should have been doing some other work. So Brandon, in his confessional, says that this is not new news to her. And I was like, child, I didn't even think about that. Like, she should have been know that. So Jodie's like, basically, that was 15 years ago. In 15 years, he's grown, he's become a different person. And she's saying, why do we think that something coming to an end is a failure and not growth? I said, okay, Jodie, you spoke a little word, because sometimes that's true. Sometimes we have to end for new things to begin, and it is what it is. So Millie asked, like, girl, well, have you had failed relationships? Please clock her, call her out, y'all, because she's really just trying to throw this man under the bus. And this man, that we can see, has not done anything. Because I stand with the sisters. As far as what they have shown us, he hasn't done anything. She just didn't let inconsistent definitely was a trigger, and she just went off the end. So Sienna says, yes, but not marriages. But it still failed, though. She tells her, we're not perfect beings. So then Sienna admits that she knew this before, but something about when she saw him face to face, it just, child, whatever. And Chris is like, just give him time. So now later, Greg is having a conversation with her on the couch, just to say essentially, like, everybody's trying to figure it out. While Greg and Sienna are downstairs having this conversation, Brandy and Millie are upstairs, and Millie's giving him a pep talk. And he tells her that Sienna called him a bitch at the pool table, and that was crossing the line. And Millie was like, wait, what? She kind of, did that. We didn't see what else her reaction was. Let's see. Sienna is telling downstairs. Sienna is telling Greg that she is looking for Brandon to take the lead in a relationship, while upstairs, Millie is basically essentially saying the same thing. She says, she wants an alpha male like me. She wants to feel secure. But Brandon says, but you communicate. Yeah, touche. So Sienna walks into the room while Millie is finishing her pep talk with Brandon. And Sienna kind of gets into the bed, and she's saying that, I think it was in the confessional, that she did not appreciate him going behind her back to talk to another woman. I said, girl, you just was doing the same thing downstairs. You was the same way he was talking to another woman, you was talking to another man. He was talking to your partner, you was talking to his partner. What are we even doing here? You're sounding crazy, and I hate fucking using that word. So now as the episode ends, yeah, Greg and Brandon the men are talking, and Brandon's like, he does not feel like this thing is moving forward. Like, if we were to make decisions tomorrow, it would be a no dog. And that is where the episode ends. Next week, we're going to get the friends and family. Like I said, we could have got the therapy, then the friends and family, then the Karma Sutra towards the end. But if y'all wanna mix it up like a mixed bag of nuts, I just ciao, 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 ciao. Let me see what y'all saying. If the shoe fits, wear that big thing. I don't understand what was even going on with these people. The marriage part, she had a point, but you mad he clocked you. Yep. And you call him out his name. Yeah, she did have some semblance of a point, but again, like had he stayed in the marriage and cheated or any of those other things, we would have had an issue. So yeah, I get it. You don't want somebody that's gonna cut and run, but if it don't work, it don't work. Ain't no reason to stick around. Brandon's only 3 years older than me. No, he's not, Harold, but okay. I don't care what it says. Look, let's go back. I don't care what it says on that thing because I'm older than Sienna, and there's no way Brandon looks older than me, but I digress. Ma'am, you were talking ish, but you picked this man. So what does that say about you? JB, you hit the nail right on the head. Because that's for some reason, it even dawned in my head because that's why I have to keep it in my notes how long these people have been together. When Brandon was like, but she already knew this. I was like, oh, damn, you're right. She did. She did already know this. So why are we all of a sudden? But like I said, that triggered something in her that she did not like. Absolutely, she can afford to lay across some. Yes, yes. Now that's not to say that Brandon don't need the therapy. Yes, she definitely needs to lay across somebody's couch. Why get on TV planning to be in a DVD relationship? Movie Bay. I'm trying not to get triggered and go all the way back, all the way back to that. Because I think that's the thing that essentially had me so angry. The rest of this foolishness, I watch reality TV show. I should be comfortable in the foolishness, if you will, but that sent me off the end. You don't play with that, and I don't know why you would think that was a good idea. And why is that the impression that you want to leave in the viewer's head? This is how we're going to look at you going forward. Like that's what you want your legacy to be or your memory to be? No, not I. Harold said that bald spot does not give 35. Sir, no lies told, okay? No lies told. Baby, mama, I made it. I'm glad. This is only 6 episodes. From what I know, y'all can get down and correct me for what I see as 6 episodes. So we got 4 episodes left. So I will be there. Okay. Like I said, my attitude mostly is kind of yeah, because I gotta go back to work tomorrow. But also the DV thing of it all kind of gets my blood boiling, if you will. We're gonna calm down and we're gonna laugh about it. Like JB said, it's giving SNL, it's giving Mad TV. Like these people are very, very unserious. So, we're just gonna regard them as such. And we're gonna have a good time and we're gonna talk about the things. I like that they're supposed to have a relationship component. I like that, but I think we're kind of speeding a little too fast with the sexual thing. So hopefully we can scale that down and and get back to, at least trying to somewhat take this whole thing seriously. I know some of it is maybe I'm 45 and Brandon look older than me, but go off. go go off and I got plenty. Never mind. It's fluffy under there. I got plenty of grades, but I digress. Yes, so we can at least pretend to take this seriously. Like I said, Harold agreed with me. We got 3 possibles out of 7. 4 is a strong no. 1 is already gone. I have a feeling we're not going to see much more of Brandon and Sienna past this point. And I want somebody to check her. I want one of Taronda or whoever to get her. I see her throwing flowers and getting buck in the next episode, and I'm not for that, ma'am. You need to stop. Stop. Don't do that. Just like I wasn't a fan of Dominique at the beginning, ma'am. Just because you're a woman, don't do that. Okay? Stop it. Somebody needs to call her out. They was trying to get her together politely, but Taronda or somebody else needs to have a talking to and get Miss Sienna together. They need to be the next to leave, in my opinion, because she looked like she about to get, I don't even want to use that word. I don't even want to use that word, but ma'am, I am not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. Anybody that comes through on the replay, please leave a comment, hashtag replay, drop an emoji. It just helps your girl out with that engagement. And if you see, usually I will at least heart it, give you some type of response because, I don't have that many subs. So I respond to almost every single one of my comments at this point. We doing a Speedy Gonzalez, okay? I don't need Joanna and Aaron J at all. I am not convinced in the least. And yes, Sienna has anger issues. Yes, that's what we will call it. Yeah. Joanna and Aaron can go, but I'll at least see them out just to give me some comedy. I don't like all the tension. I don't like the tension. They just very blasé. If they start to heat and bubble up, they can go too. But for right now, we need to get Sienna out of there. Sienna and Brandon can go because she's about to boil over, and they just woo woo Alexis. Okay, but also we have a no hitting, so y'all both got to go. Get to stepping. So I'm not playing with you, JB. JB ought to be on the people's hair. Listen, I didn't even feel like doing mine. I got on here with my little wrap. At least I gave you this colorful one instead of with my black, instead of my dressed in all black like the Ome, because that's my usual. But the rest of this is what's left is beating your girl down. What's left in the day. So we're trying to get past it. Please help your girl get to 1,000 by the end of the year. We're trying to get to 500 subs by the first. We can also get some of these views up if you don't mind, please. And thank you. Nicely and kindly, sweetly, gently. Share this video where you share your videos because sharing is caring. Okay. And we love to see it. I do owe you guys DR from Detroit, the last episode. I'm trying to decide. I don't really get that many people in the lives. So that's something for me to think about, but I have to give you guys that. If you guys are interested in watching episode 7, I did a live for that this week. I did a live for Summer House Martha's Vineyard. You guys can check that out. I did one for Love and Marriage DC. It's the end of the road. Goodbye. It's been swell. And also I did a Saturday tip last night where I just sit around, with my peeps and just, run my mouth. So if any guys are I'll probably put it up on my community tab. I usually do that during the week. But if you guys are interested in checking out any of those, please do. Keep your notifications on for more to come. And I appreciate you immensely. I will immensely. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.